Troop leading procedures provide small unit leaders a framework for planning and preparing for operations. Smaller units, company and below, lack formal staffs and use TLPs to plan and prepare for operations. This places the responsibility for planning primarily on the small unit leader. This video follows the perspective of a platoon leader. However, the procedures and techniques he uses in this planning process are applicable for company commanders and squad leaders alike. The 8 steps of the TLPs are: receive the mission, issue a warning order, make a tentative plan, initiate movement, conduct reconnaissance, complete the plan, issue an operations order, and supervise and refine. Here, the company commander confirms his understanding of the battalion mission and intent with the battalion operations officer. This will drive the company commander's own TLP process as he develops his order for his company and his platoon leaders. In Step 1, receive the mission, the platoon leader receives the company commander's operations order. In this step of the TLP process, leaders determine their unit's missions and assess the time available to accomplish their mission. Leaders can receive their missions in several ways. They can get them in the form of a warning order, or if higher chooses to wait for more information, an actual op order. Sometimes higher chooses not to send warning orders, opting instead to wait and send a full op order. In addition to receiving their mission during this step, the leader must also assess the time available to prepare for and execute the mission, prepare an initial timeline for planning and executing the mission, conduct an initial planning time analysis, determine the total amount of time to plan and prepare. As planning continues, use the initial planning time analysis to conduct a detailed time analysis. Analyze the time his unit has available and prepare an initial timeline. Upon receiving the mission, the leader needs to conduct a hasty mission analysis of the higher unit's order, utilizing METTC as a planning tool. This will allow him to create and issue the WARNO to his subordinates within 30 minutes of receipt of higher's order. Focused on mission, find your higher's mission in paragraph 2, then your mission, tasks, and purposes and those of your adjacent units in paragraph 3. Plot their locations on the map to show the big picture scenario. Ensure you immediately plot the locations on the map. This will help you understand your area of interest and area of operation, and understand how your tasks and purposes are related to the bigger picture. Leaders must understand the nested mission concept 2 levels up. Focus on enemy. Look at the who, what, and where. The majority of the information for enemy is found in paragraph 1, as well as any attached annexes. Immediately plot the known and suspected locations on the map. This provides you with the necessary situational awareness that you will need to paint a big picture for your subordinates with regards to the overall enemy activities. Focused on terrain, only brief major terrain features that will directly impact your operation. For example, we must cross Holland's Creek en route to our objective. Careful examination of the route will ensure you are not moving in a swampy area or somewhere that's restricted terrain for an extended period of time. Remember, you are working on a condensed timeline. The more time you spend here at the WARNO, the less time you have with the rest of your WARNO. Remember, the WARNO is for information to your subordinates of the big picture and to prepare for combat. You are not developing your course of action at this point. Focused on time, which is the most important for this step, backwards plan from the objective to the WARNO. Utilize the 1/3, 2/3 rule to determine available time before SP. Efforts to create detailed timeline from WARNO to SP. Focus on troops. Immediately identify what you have to work with, attachments, detachments, and assets available. Develop your initial task organization of your unit. Let your subordinate leaders know what they will be doing. For civil considerations, only identify significant information at this time. For this TLP iteration, the PL is using a planning bay technique. Here he has displayed boards modeled after those used at Ranger School for periods of bay planning. The boards serve as visual representations of the order briefed with key pieces of information. The WARNO follows a 5-paragraph op order format, and the bay planning boards are structured as follows: situation, attachments, task organization, weather light data, terrain, and an OACOC analysis format, the mission and intent of higher and the higher 2 levels up, the mission of the platoon, execution, which covers course of action statement and concept of the operation by KDDTMK, planning tasks, tactical tasks, coordinating instructions, timeline, CCIR, EEFI. sustainment by Class 1, 5, 7, 8, and 10, as well as transportation, and command and signal, which covers chain of command, frequencies used, call signs, code words, challenge and passwords, and recognition signals. Additionally, the planning bay has posted SOPs for movement and battle drills, as well as maps for graphics and 2 SAM tables, 1 SAM table for routes and 1 SAM table for actions on the objective. At a minimum, the warning order should include the type of operation, general location of the operation, initial operational timeline, reconnaissance to initiate, movement to initiate, planning and preparation instructions, information requirements, and commander's critical information requirements. The PL is not prepared to brief his warning order within the 30-minute standard.